Welcome back, everybody. You're just in time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about the stories that have everybody talking.
We are joined today by Klein from Boelter+Lincoln. Jeff Wagner also back with us. NASCAR announces new on-track procedures. New rules include not being able to go on the track or approach other cars. This all happening after a tragic accident involving Tony Stewart and Kevin Ward Jr. Ward left his car following a wreck and was accidentally hit by Stewart. Will these rules make a difference? The two were kind of back and forth with each other, and you know, he got out of his car to confront the other driver. And
well, I mean, it couldn't hurt. Now, I think I think Tony Stewart's got a lot of blame here. I don't think he deserves to be criminally charged. I think he was trying to buzz this 20-year-old man who was upset that Stewart had run the guy into the wall. But I mean, you look at this, you say, gee, who thinks it's a good idea to get out of your car when these cars are going by on a dark dirt track and start to walk down? So I mean, this has apparently always been kind of this unwritten rule. Now they're making a written rule, and I don't think it can hurt.
You're exactly right, Jeff. I mean, this is definitely a step in the right direction, and it is an unwritten rule. For decades, drivers have been allowed to get out of their car after a crash and walk, you know, to the nearest safety zone, and this just happened to end up really, really poorly. Do I think it's Tony Stewart's fault? I don't know. He certainly has a reputation. I agree. I don't think he deserves to be criminally charged, but man, I think just stay in your cars. If we have to stay in our cars when we get into an accident or need help on the freeway, drivers need to stay in their cars as well.
This is the equivalent of road rage.
Yes.
On a track where you drive a lot faster than people do on the highway.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is this has been a long time coming, because if you watch these type of races, you see stuff like this all the time. You see one guy that's upset because he thinks the other person was driving recklessly or whatever, and they get out and they confront him on the track. And again, there's all sorts of times in the past where this could have happened. It just happened to happen now. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of emotion going on. It's not unusual to hear stories about one driver and another driver duking it out in the pits, but that's fine. That's after the race. That's after people are on the track. You don't walk across 3 lanes of the freeway to try to punch out somebody who you think has just, you know, run your car off the road.
I think it's a good response by NASCAR, you know, to put these in place and put these out there.
So this weekend at the Milwaukee Mile, let's make sure everybody stays in their cars and nobody gets out if they wreck.
Keep your seatbelt buckled at all times.
Don't get out of the car. But you know what? Tony Stewart has a reputation for getting out and making these kind of confrontations too. So it's definitely a step in the right direction.
All right, coming up next, we reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
And Brian Goddard back with another look at it's a pretty good forecast after this.
I don't
to keep Brian Goddard honest. We're joined by Klein and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. Viewer's choice topic. Getting your kid ready to go back to school can be expensive. Some parents say schools have gone mad with lists of supplies that have never been longer. Parents could spend hundreds of dollars. Are school costs getting out of hand? Anyone want to explain? We did a story a couple minutes ago. There were coffee filters on this list. I mean, does the teacher's lounge need a little help? What's going on with that?
That's for an art project, right? I mean, that's the only thing that I can think so.
Yeah.
I think expectations are higher now, too. We're so dependent on technology that often technological items are worked into these lists, whether it be an advanced calculator or an iPad or even a laptop in some instances. But I think overall, the prices are higher, the lists are getting longer, and at some point, people are going to have to start thinking if they need to take out a second loan just to cover all of
this. Well, the cost is if you add in, you know, shoes and clothes, etc., you're at about $700 per kid.
That's a lot of money, and then sometimes you have to do that times 2 for each semester.
Well, sure.
That'll wipe out your Christmas.
Yes.
Well, and it's also, I mean, see, again, I'm going to date myself. But whatever happened to, you know, okay, you get a couple of the spiral notebooks and you get a handful of the new Bic pens, and then you're good to go.
Right.
I mean, isn't that what teaching is all about, for goodness sakes, and learning?
Bic pens are not in style, and they don't write well. And I am a school supply nerd. Like, I love getting new pens and notebooks and stuff.
The cool school supply when I was in school was the 4-color pen.
Oh, yeah.
The blue top, the white bottom, and the 4, the black, blue, red, and green.
Okay, do you guys remember, it used to be, like in elementary school, it used to be, start of the school year is when you got the new crayons.
Yes.
You could go and you could get, Crayola used to have that 64, maybe they still do.
With the
64 pack of crayons with all the weird colors. Right, exactly.
You could never get it to look the same way twice.
But you had to have a trapper keeper in my day. If you didn't have a trapper keeper, you were kind of behind the times.
You know, they're coming coming back.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll
Trapper
be first
Keeper
in line.
for your iPad or your tablet.
No.
They have those coming out.
I don't even know.
old
What is
school.
a Trapper Keeper? I don't even know.
It's kind of like this plastic 3-ring binder device that had unicorns and rainbows and race cars and stuff, and it was just the cool thing to have. It had Velcro, and you just looked so hip and awesome for
Unicorns? Okay.
That's what I remember.
Well, that turned into us going down memory lane
Yes,
on
it
school
did.
supplies. Let's go to our lightning round.
Flashback Friday.
An Alabama student was sent home from school on the first day because of her distracting hair color. The school says students' hair must be dyed a natural human color. Turns out the teen has had the same red hair, you can see it right there, for the last 3 years. Should they have sent her home? I guess all of a sudden it wasn't in the guidelines?
Well, they just never enforced it. I mean, look, I think you can argue about whether or not it's appropriate for kids to have their hair dyed colors that aren't found in nature. But the school, that's the school's rule.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think it is necessarily an unreasonable rule, and it seems to me the kids should follow it.
It just seems like a waste of time, that
I agree.
rule.
I agree.
It's not like don't wear short skirts. It's
Right.
I don't understand the hair color thing.
I don't know. I think if they're going to enforce this, and I agree with you, Jeff, rules are rules and enforce them. But then you have to have limitations, and you have to be very strict about what's allowed and what's not. So who's to say this hair color is not allowed, but a different shade is? You're just setting yourself up for a lot of misinterpretation and a lot of kids getting kicked out of class for the day.
Well, Courtney, I can't wait till your kids are a little bit older, so they decide that they wanted to get some of those kind of haircuts. They're going to drive mom and dad nuts. So
You know what?
we'll
If
revisit
it
this.
grows back or washes out, I'm good. It's the permanent
That's a
things.
cool mom.
It's the
Tattoo?
permanent. Yeah, the permanent things. I'm not
Piercing?
on board with.
Can I
Yeah,
have
no.
first crack at it? Let's color his hair. It would be great.
Which one?
Both of them. They both have hair for me to play with.
Do one red and one blue.
Yes. It's
Rock'em
ridiculous.
sock'em robots.
I don't even know what to say.
Come on, Jeff.
What happened to
Jimmy
this
Buffett
discussion?
Friday.
No, you just kind of took it all in that whole different. I'm picturing Courtney's children like with mohawks.
Buffett
and hair.
lyric?
Oh, yeah.
Jeff?
Mohawks, you know. No, not for today.
All
We
right.
talk mohawks. That's
All
it.
right. The What's Hot discussion will continue online. Find it at tmj4.com/hot. Happy Friday to both of you.
Coming up, Storm Team forecaster Brian Goddard has your